Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Pocket Change, where we talk about working part-time to make a little bit of extra cash on eBay, when we can, because we're not the best resellers. We're getting better at it, and we're back at it. We're doing okay.
We're not the most dedicated, I guess. The problem with this is that,
It is our part-time.
well, that is true. It is our part time, but we also here's one of the things. We tend to treat it as a hobby rather than a real. I'm appreciating your shirt and your hat. Show your hat to everybody. There you go. So look at that. It must have cost him half of what he made this year.
Actually, I got them for the Queensboro. You can get samples. I paid like $12 for this and $5 for the hat.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll get me some. But anyway, It is a hobby because we'll list real well for a while. Do what we're supposed to, make a little money, and then we'll quit listing. I'm so tired. I don't feel like listing today.
Right.
It just don't work out too well. You got to list every day, folks. You really do. If you're going to do it, dedicate to at least 5 things a day.
Take your cord off your beard. I think it's messing up the sound. Something in your... See how yours is jumping now? It wasn't before.
It's probably this thing right here.
Oh, you got the air conditioner on. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, leave it on. You need to be cool. Yeah, that's what it was.
Cool.
I'm like, what is that? Where did that come from?
It's because I moved. I had it where it wasn't blowing. Anyway, folks, welcome to my unfinished eBay room if you've not seen it already. You know, the 2 little square things that you see, the one's kind of sloped a little bit. Not the square holes.
Yeah.
Those are where outlets will go eventually. But the 2 little square, those are lights over the card table thing here. You know,
Nice.
It helps me light up to take pictures, even though I've got the ugly duckling or ugly Betty or whatever you want to call it over here on the side. I'm using this for clothing right now because you need to spread clothing out. But that being said, yes, I'm having a bang up month. I had a great month in August, honestly, and didn't list anything. I closed out the
Nice.
month of August with around $200, even though all I did was let it roll over and renew the whole month. And I'm already on track right now to beat August. I have been listing 10 things a day since the 1st, like I said I was going to do. And I have already done like 160.
Did I lose you? You muted yourself.
Somehow I got muted. Did you guys hear it? I don't know how.
Yeah, I heard you, but are you back?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know how it muted, but anyway, I've already made about $167, and it's only the 7th of the month.
Nice.
So
It's gonna be a good month.
Yeah, so if I can keep listing, I am going out of town for 2 days, but I'm going to try to get everything set to where it's going to do automatic listing every morning. And since I'm only going out for 2 days, as long as I can get the packages I've already sold out in the mail or in the post tomorrow, should be pretty good. But one thing, man, I sold an old t-shirt that has been on there. I was getting ready to just throw it in a pile, throw it away.
Everything sells eventually.
It is true.
You can't throw anything away.
Everything sells eventually. Don't give up on it. I mean, it was a vintage. You remember how like every town you went to, and some still do, but before, like when you and I were growing up, every town you went to had a t-shirt. Like every tourist town had a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And they usually have.
I had one from Blue Balls, Pennsylvania, when I was like 10 years old. I had no idea what it meant, but my stepfather bought it for me. He said, "Here, wear this, boy." I used to wear Blue Balls, Pennsylvania all the time because it was near where I grew up. I thought I was proud of my hometown. Didn't know what Blue Balls was at the time.
Ain't nobody proud of blue balls.
Yeah. And right next to Blue Balls, Pennsylvania, is Intercourse, Pennsylvania. You would think they'd be further apart, but that is, look it up on the map. Sorry, family show. But it's just name the
Anyway.
towns.
Anyway, we got Middlesex, North
You're right,
Carolina,
though.
you know. But so I had this shirt that I had gotten in a bunch of shirts that I got. It was a t-shirt from Charleston, South Carolina. And it's obviously a vintage shirt because it's got the double stitching on the... What are you looking around for? You got buzzing going on?
So, look, I had one fly in here that was bugging me. So I bought fly sticks today when I went out. Can you see how many flies are on that damn thing? There's 50 flies on there. And then I hung this one up a minute ago, and there's 7 flies on that. So apparently I had more than one fly.
Apparently.
I think it's because I got over there where the...
yeah, you got a fan that's
see that hole in the wall?
Yeah, a fan that's wide open.
Yeah, that fan. It's got a cover on it. And it was, you know how, it was going on. I'll turn that fan on. And I pulled on it. I didn't yank on it super hard. I just pulled on it. And then the flap just went... and it just sticks open.
I don't know what to do.
2 birds have gotten in here through that hole.
I would put duct tape over it. I mean, what is it?
Whatever. You
What
know what?
exactly
You
is
gotta
it
have a
doing?
little fun in your life.
Well, it's over the range, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fan. It's an old fan to suck the air out. There's no range in here. It's over the microwave. And I have the little oven there.
There's not an oven range.
No,
Scroll
I
back
brought
around. We're supposed to be talking about reselling, folks, but listen.
See that little thing? See the... yes. Jim Beam pineapple is
Yeah,
delicious. But next to it,
I see.
there's a Ninja air. It's an air fryer oven and everything. That's mine. But its place came with a microwave and like a 2-burner thing.
Okay. All right.
It's an efficiency apartment.
I'm
Not very
not
efficient.
sure about that efficiency.
Hey, $1,500 a month, including all your utilities. That's
Eddie,
a pretty good deal.
And folks, he has to unplug the refrigerator before we do the podcast.
Exactly, because it's right here. That's the best part of this place is I can be online and I can just get a beer. Go back to what I was doing.
I'm gonna install a refrigerator down here, folks.
You should have one. Hey, when I move back to Tampa in the eBay room, under the desk that's too big that I bought, there's room for a mini fridge. I'm definitely putting one in there. It's enjoyable just to not have to get up.
Yeah, just get an off switch on your desk so you can cut it off when you record your podcast.
Yeah, I'll put it on a thing that I can turn off because I don't want to have to climb under the desk every time. Because again, I don't like to go to the floor. If it goes under the bed or under the desk, it's there for the rest of its life. Getting up is too much for a 300-pound, 50-year-old guy.
Can you still buy a clapper?
Put it on a clapper. I had the clapper once. It wasn't fun. So what were you talking about?
I was talking about the vintage Charleston, South Carolina shirt. Almost 3 years. It's sold. And I was getting ready to be like, it's a $9 or $8 to $10 item. Forget it. It's just not. I even had it down to $2.99 at one time and could not sell it. And it finally sold for $9.99 just this past week.
So that's the whole thing about those type of things, right? You're waiting for the right person. The right person who wants a vintage, whatever, North Carolina.
South Carolina.
Shirt.
That's South
Carolina. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're really low in the video. I'm just saying. I just realized. Like, you're not even seeing all your beard. Come on. These people, they come here for your face. There you go.
Is that better?
Now we're at the same height.
They come here
That's
for
good.
your face.
Jesus, man.
And I cover it.
Yeah, this is high quality production we're working on here. We're ready for ABC News.
Sure.
Or maybe Unsolved Mysteries. I'm not sure what is
What's
it.
that First News Fox? That's like the download, the low grade Fox News.
You remember these?
Yes. The wax lips.
Yeah, lips. They're really good to eat. They chew like chewing the gum, but they don't go away. They keep their flavor maybe like 25 minutes.
If that.
Yeah, but they're fun. I found them I stopped at like an old, I'm pretty sure it's from the 80s. I'm not sure, there's no expiration date on it.
It's wax. When's it going to expire?
Yeah. I don't even think there's a barcode. That's why I'm worried. When's the last time you bought something without a barcode?
I don't remember. When barcodes, when I started buying stuff, it was barcodes.
Exactly.
There may have been, it may have been no barcodes in my lifetime, but I was so young I wasn't paying for anything then.
That's what I'm saying. But if there's no barcode, it's a vintage.
Of course, you used to have to. I do remember a store where we didn't have a barcode reader and everything had PLUs, like old school, because they hadn't upgraded the thing. I had to know what PLU the thing was. What's funny is beer. I don't have it memorized anymore. Well, yeah, I do. Miller High Life was PLU 23 at that store. That's how much Miller High Life we sold in the little bottles. It was like
7-ounce bottles. Those are
I
good.
was like, drinking and driving is against the law, but we're selling it like hotcakes. These guys pull in here. I'm getting a beer, put it on my tab. PLU 23 on his tab. And he would come back by driving. I'm getting another beer, PLU 20. And he would do, guys would do that all day long in that little town. And I'm like, how is it I drive through this town one time without my seatbelt on and I get a seatbelt ticket, but you guys can drive up and down the road slam drunk as you can be.
They ain't slam drunk. They're just keeping themselves from stabbing people.
Coats.
Sometimes some people just need a little.
Coates, North Carolina, folks. Coates, look it up. Coates, like you put on a coat with an S. Coates, North Carolina. I'm just telling you, that special little town. Special little town. Loved it.
Don't go there. Don't go there and wear a jacket. You got to wear a coat.
Loved it when I lived there. But if you were new there, you better do everything right because those stinking Coates PD officers were going to stop you for anything and everything. And if you had a pretty girlfriend or a pretty wife, they were going to flirt with your girlfriend or your wife in front of you. But if you had been there, you were an old timer and been there all your life, you could drink beer and ride up down the highway all you want. They wasn't going to stop you at all. In one of them old South towns, 25 mile per hour speed zone, you run 27 with an out of state tag, you're getting stopped and thrown into jail, and the judge will be around in 6 days. Kid you not.
All right, so that was 1990?
99.
99. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting you're a child. Yes.
Anyway, so
you're not even a Gen Xer. God, why am I hanging out with this guy?
Technically, I am, and I'm not.
No, my wife is on the cusp.
I was born in '80s, so it depends on which Gen X you look at. Some say 79, some say 80, some say so.
Yeah, but they all say 79. My wife was born in 79, so
she's
always. Oh no, I'm really not a Gen Xer. Oh, whatever. Why are we getting? I'm sorry. Reselling podcast.
Yeah, have you resold anything this week?
I did. My store's on vacation. I put it on vacation since I left last Sunday because I'm not going home. Didn't go home this weekend. But I have my sale of the week. You got yours?
Yeah, I got my sale of the week. What's your sale of the week?
All right, let me share.
Oh, we got to share it. Oh, okay.
Isn't that how it works?
Sure. Let me bring mine up while you're doing that. Go ahead.
There you go. I sold a 1965 Shelby Cobra Wix diecast, $39.99 plus shipping.
I have seen.
I sold $40.
Before.
That's what I sold this week. I sold that and 3 sockets for a total of $10. So I'm at like $50 in sales.
Yeah, I can tell you tools.
But then again, I'm on vacation and I haven't been listing. I'm doing everything wrong. If you guys keep watching this, in a month or two, we'll get our shit together and we'll start really showing you how to resell.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in a month or two you'll know like 100 things not to do.
That is what the show is. Hey, don't sell road flares on eBay because they get really upset with you.
That is one of the items they really don't like.
No, I got in trouble for that one.
They don't like road flares. They don't like knives.
They like knives, but they can't be hidden knives.
Can't be
like belt buckles.
Hidden knives.
It's a 2-inch knife. If you are bad enough to wear a 2-inch knife on your belt, and you can take some people out with that, well, you're not buying it from me. You're getting a really good one.
Oh, Lord. So...
You're a ninja.
I'm a ninja.
If you can use a 2-inch knife to kill a guy. A 2-inch knife wouldn't even get to my vital organs. That's why I'm chubby. In case I end up in prison.
Okay, so since we didn't the last time, I'll just stick with this sale of the week right here. Let me see if I can share this.
Share it.
And I don't know why it struck a line through it.
You went to share, and then you click the tab.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I sold this gold-filled watch right here. It's not probably, I didn't make enough money off of it, but I had it listed for $200. I was trying to get double my money on it. It was one of those items that I bought. I probably paid a little too much for it because I couldn't see good pictures of it. So I bought it. And I was like, it's either A or it's B. A, it's worth $1,000. B, it's worth probably around $250. Turned out to be B. But I couldn't. I had it listed for around $250, and this guy offered me $160 for it, and I took it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you why I took it. I could have sat on it a while longer and probably eventually got it sold for $250, but I have $85 in it, and this is close to double my money.
Yeah.
So and that's another thing, a good time to talk about it. We can stop sharing now, but a good time to talk about stuff like this. One thing that I'm learning is the more expensive items, like the higher dollar items, you're going to have more money in them, of course, because it takes more money. Where did you go?
I'm right here, man. Just keep talking.
You're going to have more money in them because, of course,
am I not there on your end?
You're not here. This is a black screen on my end.
I see both of us, so.
As long as you're seeing both of us. Yes. I'll look at myself. I'm much prettier anyway.
True, it's that sexy big old beard.
That's right, it is. Anyway. Hey, I got told, a guy told me this week he had beard envy, so sweet. Anyway. What I was saying.
Let me try sharing something again. See if it brings me back.
Okay, so while he's doing it, yeah, it brought you back. So I'm going to finish talking here.
Stop sharing. Are we back there?
Yep. So one thing I noticed, you are back. I can see you. Good.
I don't want you to miss out on this, baby.
That's right. Anyway, can I talk? One thing I've noticed, you're not going to buy an item that's more expensive and get 10 times your money on it. If you buy something for $10 that's worth $100, you did really well. If you buy something for $1 that's worth $10, that's more like a 10 times play. But when you're buying an item for around $100, you got to get really lucky to get something for $100 that's worth $1,000. Most people that have items that are worth more, they know a little bit more about what they're selling. And you may still be able to buy it so you can make a profit, but your profit margin is going to be smaller. It's what I've noticed on all the bigger items I've sold.
Well, anything you pay up for, they know what it costs. There is an opportunity, and I've done this before, where I bought something for $1 and it was worth $100 because they had no idea what they had.
But rare.
With that watch that was gold filled, they knew what it was. You might get lucky, but you're right. If you are willing to pay up and do, if you're going to make $50 or $100 profit, it's worth paying up to do. Because it would take 10 of those $1 items to sell for $10, or maybe 5 of them to equal the same amount of profit. And once you start niching down like you've done with the watches, you start to understand their value and know that, hey, it could have been, you could have got lucky and got the one that was worth $1,000.
Yeah.
But you weren't.
But I wasn't. Right.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Which is, that's the way it works. It's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Here's the thing. I've got it for $85. After all the stuff, I think it'll be around once I ship it and everything and all the fees and everything came out of it, I'm right around $150. So it's not quite double, but you look at it, I made 70 some dollars after shipping and everything. So I'm happy with that. I mean, I could just about buy it again. And that's the idea.
I'm glad I reopened the store because it was telling me on the seller level, region US, it was saying current level was top rated. If we evaluated today, it was going to drop me down. So now it says if we evaluate you today, you'll be top rated because I sold 15 things in the last 90 days. I had been to the point where I'd sold 0 in 90 days. Or 3. It was 3 at the lowest point.
One thing you don't want to lose, guys, it takes a while to get the top rated because it took me a little over a year to get there because you got to sell so many items. And now if you're doing it hardcore, real quick, fast, and full time, and you're charging on, you can probably get there faster than I did. But you got to sell so many items. I don't remember what all the qualifications are. sell so many items. You got to make some. You know, to have such a high percentage of satisfactory, positive comments, and there's a set formula for it. So it took me a little over a year. Once I got there, I had reached over 50 on my positive things, and stuff just started going up from there. So yeah, I don't want to lose that because I have heard if you lose your top rated seller, it can actually drop your sales significantly. So that's one thing you want to strive to do. I was going to
Yeah.
say this.
Get there and stay there.
I am a lucky victim of the new rule.
You got free feedback?
I got free feedback.
All right. I think we missed that on the last one. We were going to talk about that.
I think we did talk. Did we? Maybe we. I don't know if we did. But anyway, I
I don't know
got
if we
some.
talked about it or we talked. I think we were going to talk about it, or maybe it was my other podcast. We forgot to talk about it. I don't know. But, yeah, the new rule change is you have, if they don't leave you feedback in 15 days, I think it is, it automatically gives you a positive. That's cool.
And they backdated it too.
Cool.
So as soon as it came into play, they looked back. I think they looked back 15 days as soon as it came in
Let me
play.
look at my feedback.
So you might have had a boost too. I don't know. I got one boost because I've been getting feedback here lately pretty good, and I got one boost. Now I'll probably get some more. But here's the thing: you can't look at your feedback and see it. You can only look at your number. Remember how you were talking about you thought it may give a false impression?
Yeah.
Okay, so if eBay gives you the positive feedback, they only give you a boost in your number. There's no
Okay, so
positive.
it doesn't say 100%.
It does.
Because
Well,
I have one that just says 100%. So that actually is feedback.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't. At least the one I got doesn't. I searched and cannot find a comment to go with it, and so I'm so
Okay.
analytical. I'm so analytical that I went back and counted every one of them, and I only have 91, but I've got a rating of 92. Now I stayed 100% positive, but it just boosted my number. I got no comment to go with it. So I don't even know who it's attributed to.
Okay. But it's building up your feedback. That's a plus.
Yeah, so it doesn't give you any
And then they
comment.
want, because on Macari, it actually, you can see it in your feedback when they leave you feedback. Just doesn't say anything. It says positive.
Yeah, here they don't do that. They're not giving you any, as far as I can tell. Now we'll see how it goes on going forward. But so far, the one I got that was just given to me by eBay just boosted my number. So it's got a 92 with a star beside of it instead of,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, because I saw it the other day, I was like, cool. So I went looking for the new comment because I always want to see what somebody said. And then I go leave them feedback. There was no feedback to leave.
I leave them feedback right away. Because you know what? I'm a nice guy. I
Sorry,
do have one that was deleted.
sorry, folks. I'm a butt. If you don't leave me feedback, I'm not leaving you feedback. Because my idea is this: if you say, "Hey, he was a horrible dude," then I'm gonna be, "You're a horrible dude too." Because if I'm a horrible dude, you're a horrible dude. That's just the way I feel.
You just got to put it positive. It's positive. You're a horrible dude. That means you like horrible
I'm
dudes. I have
positively
one that
sure this.
deleted.
Yep, that can happen
It
too.
says deleted item not available. The following item because it's back over 90 days. That's weird.
Check the buyer because the buyer probably it probably doesn't have a buyer there with it either, does it?
Doesn't have anything. It just
Yeah.
says deleted in the middle of the
They
screen.
Okay. So what happens there is that buyer was doing things that because I was reading up on the new thing. If the buyer is removed from eBay for reasons, he's a bad guy, he's a bad girl, naughty, did something they shouldn't do, then they remove that individual and they remove all the feedback associated with them.
Cool.
So if you got one from somebody who's been banned from eBay for doing things they shouldn't,
I didn't want it anyway.
didn't want it
Hmm.
anyway. But that's also what it'll say now too. If you file the whatever, take it away. Now it doesn't remove the space; it just says deleted.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So I haven't done it yet, but I need to do it. Is remove free returns, because the only reason I did free returns is if I got a negative feedback, they would take it away. That's gone. So I need to do that at some point.
Yeah, they will not remove negative feedback now without a viable reason to remove it. There's not just you can request it now, you request it now and it gets investigated or whatever. They go back and forth and try to reach a compromise, which I
Yeah.
think is totally asinine because I had somebody try to scam me 2 weeks ago. Luckily, I didn't fall for it. And even though they got mad at me, they were unable to. If that had gone through,
Yeah.
could have gone back and forth, and it would have been a problem. But anyway,
Yeah.
but I'm
All right. So you're having a good week. You had a good week. I sold a few things, but I'm not really doing anything to warrant them pushing anything to me. So yeah, I'm happy with my $50.
woohoo! I've outsold Ben's. Woohoo!
Doesn't happen often.
It
Won't happen soon.
it didn't
Soon.
used to didn't happen at all. I'd be so proud of my week, and I'd be like, I had the best week ever. And Ben's was
And
like,
you did,
and
but
Ben's
we
was
were
like,
at different places. But now
He was like,
I only have 800
congratulations.
listings.
He was like, congratulations. By the way, I stumped you by 25%.
Exactly. I got 800 listings and I'm on vacation mode, so I can't complain.
We need to go.
Anything exciting happened this week other than that?
We need to go back to that when we used to have our week competitions, but it'd be kind of unfair to you now.
We can. You won this week. Golf clap for you. I want you to beat me every week, buddy.
Golf clap for you.
Exactly.
And when you beat me next week and I whine, are you gonna do the violin or whatever?
For sure. The smallest violin in the world. For sure.
Playing "My Heart Bleeds for Thee." That's what I used to get told all the time. Oh, I'm not sure kids today would know what that means. Our parents used to tell that to us. They'd be like, "Oh, either cry me a river," and then if you started to cry the river, they would say, "Keep crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry about."
Exactly, for sure.
That's how I know I'm Gen X, because
Yeah,
I was raised by boomers.
You do that today,
that butt.
and you'll end up in prison. You can't be a hard ass no more. The one thing I saw this week in the news that I found interesting is Walmart's launching Collector Night live shopping series. So they're going to start doing lives around collector items.
The question I have, though, is I've not read enough information about that. Is that going to be the Walmart.com, or is that going to be Walmart actually doing that?
No, it's Walmart.com.
It's
third-party sellers are used to sell used collectibles. So the guy who was the manager of the collectible market on eBay left, and he now works for Walmart. Mayhaken Jaliga, whatever. Mayakyhajela.
I don't know why you would spell it. If you can't pronounce it, can't know the rest of us pronounce it either.
Exactly. He left last year, and now he's working for Walmart. And then they started his idea. He's the one who's pushing this. So on Thursdays, Walmart last Thursday, I think they started doing lives on Thursday nights to sell collectibles. So that's definitely jumping in with Whatnot, and eBay's trying to do that. I do think that live selling is going to become something we all have to look at. Whether you're willing to do it or not is up to you. And if you get on Whatnot, like the first year you do it, or 9 months, or whatever long it takes you to get a following, you're going to have to sell stuff that's worth more than what you get for it. I do have some friends who sell books that have been doing it pretty good over on Whatnot. People will pay up for something they really want. So you can't just go live sell junk. You can't take your seconds from eBay and try to sell them live selling, because no one's going to pay anything for that but $1. But if you're willing to take... So the way I'm looking at it, I'm going to start live selling in about, once I get home, probably 6 months later. My plan is post everything for what I think it's worth. And then after 3 months, drop it down to 25% off, and then do 35, 45, 55. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is, but drop it down because you're going to get maybe 20% of Walmart value usually on those live selling. So if it sells for $100, you're probably going to get $20. If it sells for $20, you're probably going to get $4. But if you have an item that's been around, say you wait 6 months, then you start dropping down 10% a month, you get all the way down to 40% of what it's worth on eBay, and it still isn't selling. Maybe if you sold it on the live stream for 20%, you just recoup. Even if you get just back what you paid for it, you can put that money back into the company. So I definitely want to try live selling, but I don't have the setup here to do it nor the stuff. And I think it would be fun. And I think you would do good at it too, because it's all about having the personality to want to do that and being willing to be in front of the screen. And I think 130 episodes of this shows you don't mind being in front of the screen. So,
No.
yeah.
I was just looking up something right there while you were talking because I wanted to see something. I keep hearing Walmart is really, they are
They're jumping into
really
this.
jumping in. They really are. You're starting to see commercials now on TV and on streaming services. And it starts off, I became a Walmart reseller. And I'm going, Walmart reseller? Because Walmart.com for so long was all about Walmart.
Yeah.
Then they transitioned to allowing people to become Walmart sellers.
Yes.
And apparently recently, as of last year, it's not giving AI is not giving me a time when it happened, but Walmart sellers were allowed to join and sell used, pre-owned, refurbished, and gently used items through Walmart's pre-owned section of Walmart.com. And it goes on to say this is Walmart's attempt to compete with eBay and strengthen the Walmart.com seller program to compete with Amazon. Then it goes on a little side note down here. Right now, apparently Target is also looking at doing the same thing with their website. So reselling and selling is getting ready to really take all kinds of twists and turns. It may be that in a year, Ben's, we're not on eBay at all. We're on Walmart. I'm thinking about looking into it to do some research on Walmart.com reselling to see kind of what it is. It does say Walmart specific section allows customers to buy pre-owned items, and it is recommended that you become a Walmart trusted third-party reseller. I'm not sure what that means, but this must be something like top rated on eBay is what I'm guessing, because you get a trusted party seller seal to place on your store. Sounds pretty interesting. This whole space, eBay's been the king of this space for so long. They are the undisputed ruler of it right now. And I'm not sure that Bonanza, Macari, some of the others have ever really had the clout to dethrone eBay from the pre-owned, gently used, throne. I would call it the online flea market throne. But
Yeah.
Walmart and Target definitely have the clout to be contenders if they do it right. And there's a lot of resellers that are disgusted with eBay.
Yeah, there are.
A lot. Our fees have gone up. We've talked about it on here. Our fees have gone up. You got now where you're paying multiple fees. And you can go ahead and figure, folks, that if you're listing anything, and those of you guys who are watching who are already resellers, you're going to know exactly what Ben's and I are saying here. But when you look at it and you look at an item, somebody makes you an offer, you're like, oh, can I afford to lose 30% of that?
Yeah, with everything going on right now. So one of the things that you need that I was looking at. So they're saying that in 2024, the total secondhand market was around $197 billion, right?
Wow.
It is projected to reach $367 billion by 2029. So you're talking $170 billion increase on something that was $197 billion
Well, I can tell you why.
in the next 5 years.
I can tell you why. Try buying something new these days.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Things have gotten even more expensive even over the last 6 months. It is just continuing to go up how much things cost. And now the feds, and this is where my expertise comes in, the feds are talking about lowering the rate. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing. I can tell you, folks, if they lower the rate more than a quarter point, we're going to go right back into an inflationary curvature that's going to start swinging way up. And yet a quarter of a point's not going to help with loans. I don't know. And so I think gently used, pre-owned, now not trash, not junk. I mean, I got several pieces of junk here on my desk that I use on a regular basis, but like this pen here, I'm not going to be able to sell it because when you mash down on it too hard, it clicks out anyway. You don't have to click it. So it's a piece of junk. That's just an example. You gently re-owned or pre-owned, cleaned items, restored items, refurbished, all that's going to, yeah, I think it's going to be huge. And I think with Walmart, I think Walmart sees the writing on the wall. I think Target does too. And I worry about eBay.
Yeah, they see it. You know what? If the market's going to double from 197 billion to 360 plus billion dollars, eBay's only $10 billion of that. So you talk about it's all the other thrift stores, all this, that, and the other. There's plenty of room. The thing right now that everybody should be looking at is the DDME or whatever from other countries because of Trump's changed that policy about stuff coming into the U.S. A lot of countries, there's like over 30 countries that are no longer shipping to the U.S. They suspended or restricted it, mainly from their postal services, because it used to be anything under $800 had no, what do you call it?
No customs value.
No customs value. They moved that to zero. Everything has customs value. Because when they moved, it was like, I forget what it was, but it moved up to $800. Since they did that, the amount of packages that hit that have went like up by 2 million a year or 2 billion a year. I don't know what the number is, but they decided that. So right now, anybody who's in Canada can't ship to the U.S. without doing the customs thing. So if somebody in Canada wants to sell to the U.S., we now have to pay the customs fees, whereas before we didn't.
So it's back old.
So all the postal services, like Canada Post and all the ones around the world, they don't have that built into their system to collect that money. You can still ship UPS and FedEx from those countries because that's already built into their system. But most of the people didn't do that because it was already way more expensive than sending it. And I think this really is trying to block out China. Because how much stuff I bought on Temu for $3, it was in China and there was no free shipping because they didn't have, it was free because it was so cheap to send to the U.S. Now you have to pay all these custom fees. So a lot of those companies or a lot of those countries have decided to put a hold on it through their postal service. So I know a lot of people in Canada and a lot of people in Europe have just decided not to sell to the U.S. They're working on fixing that, and they'll fix it at some point. But it will be an added expense to the customer to get it to the U.S. So right now, if you're in the U.S., especially for this fourth quarter, I read an article. I'm not sure how true it is, but 30% of the sellers are in the U.S. for eBay. 70% are somewhere outside of the U.S. So 70% of the sellers either can't ship here, or if they do ship it here through FedEx or UPS, we'll have to charge the customs. So this might be our best fourth quarter ever if you're a U.S. seller selling to U.S. people.
Might be.
And we do the everything I ship outside the U.S., even to Canada, I use the eBay International.
But is that going to change?
Whatever it's called. No, that doesn't change because it's already figured into that. So everything for the U.S. people that are selling on eBay, nothing's going to change. Now they're adding that eBay International. I don't know what it's called, something different now, but for Canada. But I think that starts like
I
October
remember. I
3rd or something
remember
like that.
years and years ago when I had my eBay car parts business. It was first attempt at selling on eBay. Many years ago, back when I first met Ben's, and I sold a car part to a person in Canada, and having to go through and fill out those custom forms to ship it into Canada. Oh my gosh! I just gave the guy his money back. I was like,
Yeah,
just here, take your money back, because it was like 4 pages of customs forms, and I was like, and by the time I take my time to fill this out, it wasn't worth it what I made off of this. Because I
exactly.
think
But that's why that what eBay International, or what's it called? I forget.
I don't know, but
Where
I mean,
you just send it to Chicago and they take care of it.
yeah, and I use that service, so I don't ship. And I think you have to turn off direct international shipping on your store or whatever,
Yeah,
and which I did, which allows me to still ship international, but I don't ship direct. But what's your thoughts
yeah. So
on
like right
going
now,
back to the
there's
other? So you
30
think
countries that will not ship to the U.S. Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Czechoslovakia, Canada, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, India, Italy, Japan, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Malta, Moldova, Montenegro,
Moldova?
Norway, Poland, Portugal, Siberia, Singapore, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, and Thailand, which were all shipping to the U.S. They've put it on hold
Oh, we're not buying
because
labels
beyond that,
anymore.
they have no way of collecting the money to pay the U.S., even if somebody there wanted to do it. So right now, I think if you're in the U.S. hitting this fourth quarter, they'll get this figured out, but they still have to pay the customs fee from all those countries, every country other than the U.S. And it's really complicated because if you're selling something that is made in China, it has a different code than if you're selling something that was made in the UK or in Canada.
It's true.
So it's different for all these different countries. It's not like eBay where they could just do the sales tax for 50. They rolled that out and they collect it for all the different states. There's every country in the world. So there,
I remember when you didn't have to pay
and
sales
it's,
tax on eBay. That's how old
yeah,
I am.
me too. But think about this. It's something coming from China that's a toy has a different import tax than something that's metal or something that's just straight up plastic. This is an immense thing that they're going to have to figure out as a country so they can ship to the U.S. So they just said we won't ship to the U.S. So interesting, but I think for the fourth quarter, us here in the U.S. can make more sales because that other stuff's not coming in.
See, and I think that's awesome because here's what I'm going to tell you, folks. When I first started on eBay, all I didn't have to compete with eBay China. In other words, there was no Temu shippers on China, and then all of a sudden they opened up eBay to try to compete with Amazon, and so we've had an influx of all these cheap knockoff junk goods. Killed part of my pocket watch business because, okay, so I don't have them. I don't have them in here. I wish I did. Eventually, I'm going to have shelving with all of them in here. But I've got two watches that look identical. Now, the difference is this: one's worth $30, and the other is literally worth $4.
Yeah,
The one worth $30 was made in the USA back in the 70s with a Japanese movement. Now, in other words, imported Japanese quartz movement. They're who invented the quartz movement. So came over the quartz movement and they built a watch here with it. It's worth $30,
yeah,
supposedly. But here's the thing: Chinese copied the exact same thing. They will sell it on their website for $4 free shipping. Now I have one of the Chinese ones. I can't sell it for $4 and make any money, so I just got it sitting in a drawer over there. And the $30 one, once they came on eBay, dropped to $15. And I lost 50% of my value because of Chinese cheap knockoff junk.
yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. But what it was, the collectors pull back, the ones who actually are collecting, and they're like, and the ones who just want it for a nostalgia are like, I'll buy the cheap Chinese one. I don't care. So
Yeah.
it's hurt us. It really has. So I'm glad to see that's starting to happen. I go back to the thing we were talking about a little bit before that. Do we think Walmart's going to affect eBay or no? Should we be looking into Walmart as a reseller, potentially joining that? I know we've looked at Macari, Bonanza, those kind of things in the past. Should we jump on board with Walmart?
In early, be one of the first. I don't know. I don't know what works or what doesn't. But you got to try everything. You got to stay abreast of everything. I think eBay is going to be there forever. I think eBay, not forever, but I think eBay has a solid hold on everybody's thought process. When I started selling
I'm
on
hoping
eBay,
it brings the fees back down, though. eBay has gotten outrageous with how much it costs us sellers.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but think about if you decided to do this and you opened a brick and mortar. How much money would you have to put out of your pocket to secure the location and pay for the rent and electricity and all the things that you would have to pay for? Then you take it back to, okay, they take 25% of what I make, even 12 and a half or whatever, 13, 15% for your fees. And you say you decide to go 10% on your thing. So 25% of your sale they're going to take from you. Now, I know that includes the shipping label, but the shipping labels, you're saving more than they're taking away because you get a good deal because you're going through eBay.
Yeah, but a lot of that we've had to start giving that back.
I agree. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. But what I'm saying is most companies, and I work for a company that sells a lot of stuff, and we're probably working on 10 to 15% margin on everything we sell. Is there anything you sell for 10 to 15% margin? No.
Some things I have sold that cheap.
I have too, but for the most part, this is an opportunity to make 50 to 70% margin on the things you sell, even after they take their fees. So I think everybody complain, oh, it's too much fees, it's too much fees. Hey, if you put it all on a cart and roll it to the end of the road, and there was 142 cars that drove by, how many of those people are going to stop and look? Here you get 185 million people that are looking to buy stuff, and it costs you less than if you had a... Yeah, I'm just saying.
I disagree with that. I
know you disagree, and I'm stating my point that, hey, if you can make 50% margin in a retail, you would be a god. You can easily make 50% margin on eBay. Unless you're not buying your stuff right, then you need to rethink what you're doing.
Trying to see what my monthly stats are for. Here's the thing, you can claim, eBay does that all the time. eBay claims, oh, we have so many million people on eBay. But if you look but if you look at your store, now, okay, so you're going to get more than probably brick and mortar, but you still look at it, okay, so my traffic impressions so far for this month, 417,000. That's not a billion people.
And you only have 100 and some items, right?
But again,
would be one shelf in a retail store. So 417,000 people stopped by there and looked.
That's not a billion people. eBay always claims that. Walmart could claim even more than that because how many do they have stops by their website and goes into the store? And some people get counted more than once. If they look at 2 items on your page, they count twice.
They looked at both of them.
I'm just saying. But here's the thing. I remember when I first started, not you. You were into this too, because I started all of a sudden, and I was doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden we weren't selling nothing. And they had this new thing they added. So this is only a couple years old, folks, where you have the listing fee that you get assessed if you sell it of like 13 to 25%, depending upon where your item fits into which category. Because don't get surprised by that, because they will tell you, you're 12.5%. No, it depends on what your item is in the category. eBay Motors charges more. Jewelry, they charge more. So on my pocket watches, I pay more on fees
Yeah,
than.
pocket watches are more. I
And
know. I
then
started selling them. What?
and then on top of that, now you have to pay basically an advertising fee on eBay, and you get to set that. You can say, "Oh, I'll pay 5. Oh, I'll pay 10." When it first came out, all of a sudden, Ben's and I were like, "Why are we getting nothing?" And we looked, and
Yeah, because we didn't.
the suggested started out at 10, and then there's one point the suggested went all the way up to 30.
So Alex, the guy who I do the other podcast with, the Beard King Picker, he's now set it to 10% on everything he
That's
sells.
what I do. 10%. That's all
And
I'll
that's
do.
what his sales have doubled. He was not doing it at all. So I think you got to go 10%.
I think
be
you,
seen.
but people went crazy with it there for about 3 or 4 months, and you and I sold
Yeah,
nothing
they
because
did.
we were not going to do 30%.
No, I'm not doing above 10.
You couldn't do it. But see, even at 10, you're paying basically, say a pocket watch at 10, I'm paying 25.
Yeah.
So I'm paying. So if I've got an item that I bought for $3. So we just do the quick math on this, folks. I'm not going to share a calculator, but I'll bring it up and we'll do the math on it, and you can bring up your calculator and follow along with me. So if I paid $3 for it, and I want to sell it for 10, okay, and then you have to do this 10.99. Then you have to do this. Oh goodness, they're watching it. So you're encouraged by eBay to give them a deal. So let's say you give them 5% off. Okay, so times 0.95. Now I'm at 10.44. Probably not going to sell it at 0.5 off. In fact, I don't even do 0.5s anymore unless I just want them to go away because people are only going to buy, I've noticed, if you give 15% off. But let's go ahead and give 15% off, so where it usually sells at.
So what did we start at here?
Times 0.85, 10.99. So now we're down to 9.34. Now I sell that item. They pay tax and shipping on that item, $9.34. Okay? They pay tax and shipping, and now I've got to pay my insertion fee and my advertising fee.
So what's the shipping? So you're at 1034.15 plus they pay $6
They usually
for
pay
shipping?
like $6 for shipping, pocket watch, and then
So
tax is usually about $2.37.
Plus 237.
Yeah.
That's hell of a tax.
But that's what I can show you the average because
So we're at 17.
We're at 1771.
71.
Now times 0.75. So I'm getting 13.28, and then I have to pay the shipping out of that, which is going to cost me $4, roughly $4.30 minus
$4.30, yeah.
4.33, and so I'm dropped down to $8.95. Now that's
still 3 times your money.
That's not terrible. No, it's not.
Still 38% of what you paid for it. 38%.
Yeah, I'm not doing bad. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
What really gets it is when
What's your argument?
My argument is this. You need to know what your fees are because a similar watch, and I'm giving roughly a thing, is somebody that owed me $6 for it.
Yeah, so you wouldn't make any money.
I couldn't take $6. And when I told the guy, I was like, I can't do that. And he's like, why? eBay fees and my cost. I'm not going to just give it to you. It's only worth like $6 to you, and that's fine. Go away.
Yeah,
Quit messaging
I don't
me.
need to sell it to you.
So you've got to, when somebody sends you an offer, what I'm saying is because eBay has jacked their fees, and eBay will tell you they're not jacked their fees up. Their fees are only 12.5 or 13.5 or whatever. That it's voluntary for you to tack on that other. It's not voluntary, folks. Go ahead and figure it into your cost because if you don't do it, you're not going to sell anything.
25% is what you're going to sell it for, and I usually figure a 20 to 25% discount. So if I'm selling it for $100, I'm going to sell it for $75.
And so then you've got to source it for.
And then the taxing, yeah. But I don't source anything. I'm 10 times my money on most everything I sell. If you're not 6 or at least 5 times your money, don't bother with it. Unless It is something that you can sell for $100 profit or $50 profit.
That's what I was
If you
going
think
to
about
say.
that,
Yeah.
you buy something for $100, though. So $100, you buy something, and you sell it for 150.
You're not going to make it
Say
after your
200.
fees. You're going to have to sell it
You're not
for,
going to make anything.
yeah. You're going to have to sell it for, it's going to have to be you buy it for 100, you can sell it for 200. That's only 2 times your money. That's why I said on that one watch, 2 times my money is okay. I'm close to it. I figured it
Yeah,
up, and I was like,
yeah,
I'm still coming out making a pretty
yeah.
decent
So
profit
you
off of
buy
it.
it for 100, you sell it for 200, and then there's a $20 shipping fee. So you're at 220, and then you lose, time, times 0.75 because you're losing 25%. You're at 165, and then you end up making $50 after you pay the
Of
shipping.
course, you got that one painting that I sold last week. We didn't get to talk about.
Yeah, that was crazy. So
Absolute
explain that
crazy.
one.
And this is what happens. So I put in there the shipping, everything, because all my paintings I gallery pack. There's another painting I sold right after that. I actually ended up losing $6, but I gallery pack everything, so it comes out a little bit heavier. So I always try to pad in the weight a little bit and the size, because even though the painting might be inch and a half, an actual painting might be an inch and a half wide, by the time I put the padding around it and everything, it's going to be 4 to 6 inches. So I always put in 8 inches. What ended up happening was this lady in Arizona, God bless her, I love her to death. I won't come back if you watch this. I've got 3 more just like it. Not just like it, but the same artist. But it was like a $20 painting. I bought 5 of them, got them together at a sale for $5 a piece, so I paid $25 for all of them. I'd already sold one for $25, so I pretty much made my money back on it. This lady, she offered me a deal. I took it. $17.99. I was wanting $19.99, $2 off. I took it. But then the shipping on it to get it to Arizona was $100, like $130. And when I put in the shipping cost and I packaged it up, got it all wrapped up so it wouldn't break, wouldn't nothing, best I can do, like cradling a little egg, got it in the box, the big flat box, and peanuts packed around it, all that deal. And put it in, the shipping came out to $40.
Yeah.
So I ended
Turn
up,
your AC another way. Your AC's like drowning you out.
so I ended up making,
That's better.
that's better. I ended up making like 75, 70, I think it's 73 was actually what I ended up making off of this
Yeah,
painting.
$73.
And so between the 2 of them, I made 4 times what I paid for all of them. Still got 3 left. That was awesome. Now the very next painting, which I really didn't want to sell, but it was listed, I was like, yeah, if it sells, I'll sell it, because I didn't have a stinking box and had to go buy one real quick because I was out of boxes for my paintings. I had to go buy one real quick and had to pay top dollar for it. I ended up losing $6. And I was like,
What you pay for
man,
that box?
I paid $28 for that box.
Exactly. You got to buy. If you're
For that
gonna listen,
one
people, if you're gonna
box.
sell artwork or anything that's big, have the boxes on hand.
Yeah, but I run an
That
inventory,
same box.
and I didn't keep
What was
up
the
with it.
size of the box?
The size
What
of
was
the
the size
box.
of the box?
I had to buy one that was one of those sizer ones. So that
You
was
can
even,
slide together. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
those
was
are
even
expensive.
more expensive. So it was like a 25 by 25 all the way up to a 25 by 41.
Yeah.
So
What'd you need?
I needed a 25 or a 20. I needed a 20 by 30.
I have 22 or 24 by 30s. I paid $4 for.
The good thing about it was though, buying that box like that, it came in a kit. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to buy any. I just put the foam corner things on it, wrapped it in my bubble wrap, slid it down the little thing, taped it shut, put it in, put some more foam around it, dumped peanuts around it, and slid it together and taped it up. I mean,
Yeah.
so it was really easier to package than
Yeah.
than
It's
any of the
much
rest of
easier
them.
than the. Yeah.
But
I agree.
I lost $6 on the whole deal.
That's the way it worked, man. You got to have boxes. If you have stuff listed, make sure you have something to go in. Or you should
So
have just took your sorry butt behind the Target,
I
picked up some
I
boxes.
thought about just sending back me sorry and just canceling the deal, and I was like, I don't want to do that. They bought it.
You didn't lose six, but you lost $6 total on the whole thing, or $6 on the shipping.
I lost $6
Are
total
you?
on the whole painting deal
Oh,
on
well,
that one.
good lord.
Yeah. So $6 was what I lost. I was $6 negative
Yeah.
after buying the painting, paying the fees, them paying. They even though so it is what it is, but that's okay. You don't want
One
all.
thing I want to get into tonight, and we're already an hour, was fourth quarter. We'll talk about that, I guess, next week. Right? Fourth quarter's running up on us, right? We got the rest of
Yeah.
this month, and October's going to be here.
Hey, shout out if you're watching this right now and you're live with us. Get your Christmas items on eBay now.
Exactly. So let's just run through that quickly, right? So stock up early, buy stuff before October if you're going to sell it, right? You need to get it listed and out there because people start shopping for holidays now,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't wait until December and put it all up and think it's going to sell. You need to get it done early. Source items now, especially toys, collectibles, electronics, anything that's a giftable item. If you have that in your death pile, get it listed, right? Other thing is optimize your listings. Go through all your old listings and look at them. That's what I'm going to do. I'll go through there and say, hey, and make sure that it says new in box. Or a good keyword is a gift item or stocking stuffer or perfect for the holidays. If you have extra spaces in your listing to put that in, add that in. Stocking stuffer has always made me a lot of money in the fourth quarter, especially with a lot of small stuff that I'm selling. It's a great stocking stuffer.
I'm gonna put together, as you guys see the sockets behind me. I'm gonna put
Yeah,
together my mechanics Christmas special.
there you
I'm
go.
gonna put
That's a good
together a
idea.
10 millimeter from every size, and I'm gonna package it together and call it the mechanics Christmas stocking stuffer. It's just an idea because I
Yeah.
got quite a few of them, so I'm gonna try to sell them. My wife the other day she saw what my profit ratio is. I'm gonna tell you folks, if you sell these single, they ain't worth
Worth your time.
they really ain't worth your time because they list easy and they're great, but tools, unless you've got some kind of specialty tool, if you're selling new drills or something that you got a hold of, which I got a hold of some tools one time that really sold really well and I made quite a bit of money on. Benz has done the same thing, but regular everyday hand tool items they don't sell. You'll make a dollar to $3 here and there. They're good steady sales, but they're not big sellers. They're not quick sellers. They're not. They are awesome this time of year to do stuff like stocking stuffers with, especially for the
Yeah.
because guys we love tools and we're always losing them. And
Yep.
10 millimeters sprout legs and run away on their own. But yeah, so that's yeah. But you Christmas items, Christmas ornaments. If you got any of those, now, I will tell you this all my Christmas items in February of this year, I yanked off my store. I did that for a reason. I got sick and tired of getting lowball Christmas clearance type offers. Oh, you want $30 for that item before Christmas? It was worth $30? I'll give you $1. No. I took it down, I boxed it up, now I'm relisting all of it. So,
There you go.
now, if it's a stocking
The
stuffer,
other
you can
thing,
leave it on there. But if it's a Christmas
yeah,
ornament or something like
yes.
that, get it off your store. Don't leave it on there. You'll get harassed with low ball offers because all people are used to that. All the retail outlets are trying to get rid of it, so they're discounting everything, just like candy at Valentine's Day. They're discounting all that stuff. It's a great time to buy some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Who was it? What was her name? There was a lady. She's an eBay reseller, but she only sells at Christmas time, and she sells lights. I forget what her name is.
I
She's
don't
got
know.
a YouTube channel too, but she's
Tits McGee.
I
No,
don't I don't know. I don't
I'm
remember her
messing
name.
with
It seems like it's Ruth something. She's an older lady, but she goes around to all like the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Lowe's, Home Depot, all the stores, and whatever they have left over. And she said now she's got such a great relationship with a bunch of the managers that they will just call her because Lowe's, Home Depot, Dollar General, all of them do these huge markdowns just to get it back
Yeah.
out of the stores. They don't want it shipped back to the warehouse. And they'll do these huge markdowns, and they know she will come in and buy it all. One whack, she'll blow up with a van. And so I was watching it, came across it the other day, and I was like, that is a cool idea. But I'm too late this year. But she will go like after Christmas, in January, she started going and she would buy it all. And she would try to dicker with the managers on it. And sometimes she said I would get even better deals than what they were advertising. I'd be like, what if I took it all off your hands? Because I know you don't have
Yeah.
store space for it. You don't want to ship it back. And so this time of year, she starts listing Christmas lights and Christmas ornaments and all that stuff. And she makes $50,000 is what she claims in the last
Just
fourth quarter of the year.
nice.
And then she shuts her store down.
Yeah. So, the other thing you need to think of, especially during the fourth quarter, customer service is key. If you get someone sends you a note or asks you a question, I know a lot of people don't like, oh, they ask questions, they're not going to be good. But at this time of the year, people are going to be asking more questions because they're buying presents for other people. Get back to them right away. If you wait 2-3 days to get back to somebody to ask you a
They
question,
bought somewhere
there's a good
else.
chance they've already moved on and bought it from somebody else. Do your due diligence and make sure that you are doing the best you can with customer service. I think that's the key for fourth quarter is be on top of it. The other thing is make sure you have your supplies stocked. There's nothing worse than selling something and having to pay $28 for a box because you didn't have it in stock. But bubble mailers, tape, boxes, make sure you're going to sell more in the fourth quarter. Make sure you have the supplies because a lot of times those supplies run thin and you're not able to get them from your normal suppliers. Just make sure you're ready to go.
And don't recycle bubble wrap, folks. You don't have to buy new all the time. If you're buying stuff
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
you're having stuff shipped in too. Save it, and tell your friends and relatives what you're doing. Because I know my parents dropped off 2 whole bags of bubble wrap. I was so thankful putting them to get that. Yeah, it takes up space, but I don't have to go buy it.
Exactly. Two things. Understand the cutoff dates. Don't get yourself
Yeah.
a tizzy about that, right? So I went online, looked at it. I think this year for USPS ground will be the 18th. First class mail is the 18th. Priority mail is the 19th. And express mail is the 21st. UPS, it looks like it's 3-day selects the 19th. Second day air is the 20th. And next day is the 23rd because no one's getting anything after the 24th. UPS ground was a little more convoluted. They have a lot of different services. I don't use, excuse me, FedEx. I don't use FedEx.
I don't
I
either.
use UPS and USPS, mainly USPS. But be aware of those dates. They haven't officially put them out there, but be looking for that as soon as they come out and make sure you're aware of them. People are going to try to buy stuff UPS ground after the 18th and expect it by Christmas. So make sure you have on your stuff at this time of year the opportunity to buy Priority Mail and Priority Mail Express. Even though it's going to cost them a lot, some people will do it because there's a lot of last minute shoppers.
And I know some of you folks are wondering why we're talking about this now, and we're going a little bit over our time normally. But if you're new
Yep,
to this, and now last year, I like after the ship date, I just put my store on vacation till the first of the year,
me too.
and that
That's what
worked
I always
really
do.
well because like I
Yeah,
wasn't harassed. I
we're
wasn't,
doing.
hey,
Yeah,
can you get this shipped out right now? Yeah, I can, but you paid for USPS Ground Advantage. It's not going to get there till the 30th. I have to have it by Christmas. You're going to have to pay more. No, I can't pay more. Please, please, this is a gift from my baby girl. I'm sorry.
yeah. All the sob stories come out. And the other thing you need to keep in mind is there's a lot of people, especially if you have like collectibles that someone would buy for themselves, that for Christmas, a lot of gift cards go out. eBay gift cards and just other like American Express, Visa, MasterCard gift cards. January is usually pretty good if you're selling that type of stuff. That, you know what, Uncle Bob's into Ninja Turtles, don't know what he has in his collection already. And then they get a gift card to him so he can get whatever he wants. So be aware of that stuff. All right. I think we had a great show.
I think so too. Hope
You
you
got
guys
anything
had
else to
fun.
add?
I don't
Yeah.
this go
I
around.
had a great time. That fourth quarter thing was bing, bang, boom from 10 minutes. But be aware. Make sure you have your supplies. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you're doing your customer service. What? Bing, bang, boom.
Bing, bang, boom.
Boop. Bing, bang, boom.
Bing,
All
bang.
right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in and checking out
Yeah.
Pocket Change. I know we've been a little light on our setting stuff out there and our selling hasn't been stellar, but we're still living this reselling life. as a part-time resellers. At some point, we'll get full-time, and then we'll have a lot more to talk about. But we are who we are, right?
I'd say next week we bring back our favorite buyer.
Yeah, buyer of the week
Our
and
buyer.
buyer of the week and feedback of the week. We'll do that next week,
Yeah.
and maybe some news, more news. All
More
right, everybody.
Nudes. Nudes.
Nude, not nudes.
News.
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 News. We're not bringing back the nudes. We did that one time, and everybody lost subscribers like crazy. All right.
Folks, on that note.
I can hear your air conditioner blowing, man. What are you talking about? All right, everybody. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next time.